Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now, last video I did my backfire YouTube competition where I took a load of photos, and this one right here was probably one of my favourites, and today I thought I'd show you how to do that in Photoshop Elements. First of all, you're going to select your subject, whether that's a person, a car, or whatever you like really. And then you're going to select it. I mainly use the quick selection tool, and then if I go over, or it automatically goes over something that I don't want in it, for example the background, this selection needs to be ideally really sharp and close to your person. So if it does go over at all, if you hold down Alt, it will go back to your subject. Finally, once you've done your rough, quick selection, I then use the selection brush just to get it perfectly, as obviously automatically sometimes it can go a bit wrong. Once you've selected your subject, like me, I've got the bit in between his legs which I don't want to be moved around at all, so just hold Alt and that kind of creates another area, but that won't be cut out. Once you've done your selection, you're going to want to save your selection, because if for any reason it goes wrong at all in the future, you're going to want to retrieve that. So we go up to Select in the top left, go down to Save Selection, make sure Selection in the bar is New, and then just title it something that's meaningful so that you know what it is in the future. And then once you've saved your selection, hit the Layer Mask button in the top right, and that will create another layer with just your subject on it. So as you can see, I've made a group. To make a group, just hit this button here, the group button, that creates a new group. I don't need that. And as you can see, I've already done my blue one, which is highlighted blue, and I've called it left because my blue is on the left of my person. And then to make the red, I like to colour code it a bit. To make that red, click that layer, go down to red, and so now you've separated it by colour coding it. So I've got no layers currently in my red, so if I go to my blue, these are my layers. So I'm going to go to my layer where I've cut out the person, Command J, so that's duplicated that layer. I'm going to bring that down and drag and drop in the red right, so that's where it's going to end up, and as you can see it's already highlighted that for me. So this layer is going to turn out to be red, and the whole idea is you move that photo to the right and make it red. So if I hide everything else by right clicking, show hide all other layers, so this is the layer that I'm going to be working with to make red. So I'm going to make the subject red and then shift it along to the right, change the opacity and all of that lovely stuff. So let's unselect that, keep that in view. So I'm going to go up to the top. I don't know what this button's called, I will be honest, but go down to Hue and Saturation, click that. So that's then, it's just the hue and saturation of whatever. But if you click this button here, that makes it for only that layer just below it, which is what we want. Otherwise, if we don't hit that button, all the things below this layer, the hue and saturation layer, will turn out to be red. So I'm also going to click Colorize, and it's on this layer, and I'm going to bring the saturation up to the max. And you've got to make sure all the layers above this, are checked red. Sorry, you can't view them. So this has made, if I remove my background layer, so the selection that we have done in the red right group is now very bright red. So you can play around with the saturation a bit, make sure it's how you like it, make it a bit darker if you're a bit moody, lighter obviously if it's more bright. I go with about plus 11 for me will look good. I can see the background, see how it will look. And then if you get off of that, then you've got your blue layer, which you can't see. And then you've got your background. So there's my blue layer, and what I'm going to do is, so I've now got my red layer. I'm going to go up to my move tool, and if you hide everything else, because if I don't hide everything else, I'll be moving whatever on top of it, which isn't good. So if I hide everything else, click on the layer that I want. You don't have to move your hue and saturation layer, because like I say, that is linked to the layer that you've created to be red. I'm just going to eyeball it to start, and then I'm going to bring my top layer in and see where that ends up. Oh, I'm not taking that. And then bring in your blue layer to see in comparison, and then bring in your background. So that, I've moved it about where I want it to be. Obviously you can play around with how much you want to shift around. And remember, keep this, the first select, so the image that you are selecting, keep this at the utmost top. So top of all your layers, because that will be on top of the image. Whatever is at the top of your layers will be on top. So if we hide that, you can see the red and blue are now mixing, and you've got a bit of the background. So if you turn the background off, you can see the blue is a lot less bright or clear than the red. So that is because my blue layer has a lower opacity. So if I turn my red layer, let's make sure it's the same as the blue. So if I go up to opacity, go to 40%, that is about right. Then you can see your photo. So I just walk through quickly. So you've got your background, then in your red right group, you've got your layer mask with the subject, then you've got your hue and saturation. So if you turn that off, it's then normal, but if you turn that on, you can see the red of your subject. Then it's the same in the blue left, you've got your subject but shifted to the left. Then you've got your hue and saturation to make it blue, and then on top you've got your cutout subject, which you keep duplicating to put in the blue left and the red right, and that keeps it from all being mixed up in the middle. So you've got your actual person in the middle there. Okay, that is how you do the RGB split in Photoshop Elements. I hope you enjoyed, and first and foremost, I hope it made sense. If you do have any worries about it, or you're confused about something, please feel free to comment it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and up here somewhere you can rate my video and tell me how to improve. And also, I'm running out of ideas. I know, it's a shame, I've not done that many YouTube videos, but I really want to know what you guys want to see in the future. So yeah, just comment on that straight down below. I hope you enjoyed and have a good Christmas. See you next video.